Better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I am telling you why. 'Cause Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh, let's go!
Yeah, the White House literally posted that video on X just yesterday, and within a couple hours, they took it down. All the backlash that they received. Yet another example of the White House pumping AI slop out into the internet. Mike, what do you think about what we just saw there with targeting these journalists on a so-called naughty list? What the hell did we just see?
I wish I knew. It's very cryptic and strange. I mean, it's not that cryptic considering that they literally name names. But this is just going to be in one more thing where Trump supporters will go, "Oh, it was a joke. He's talking about the naughty list." You know, has nothing to do with like the stuff that they did in Nazi Germany, where they made actual lists of reporters and then killed some of them. It's not that. You know, there's always a level of plausible deniability, but I would like to think that even as somebody who like, let's put all the jokes aside, whatever, like, let's go ahead and say it's joking. Like, is this what you want your leader to be doing? All this does is sow division. It doesn't bring anything together. It doesn't, like, okay, sure, they've shown that these guys are on the naughty list, but it doesn't explain like why or what's happening. All it does is confuse people and give people like a list of people that they should hate for what reason. So it's just very bizarre. It's very disappointing, and like you said, it's just another example of horrible AI slop coming out of the White House. They even, like, with this video of Trump like literally shitting on protesters. I think that was something that somebody else made outside of his administration, but he shared on Truth Social. But even then, you've got stuff like all these like Jedi AI slop that was made, and where it even shows him carrying like a red lightsaber, which, if anybody knows Star Wars, they know those are the Sith Lords, those are the bad guys. So, like, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, quite the Freudian slip there with the Star Wars stuff. And let me just quickly tell people, what the list in that video actually says. It targets the following people. So it's got MS Now with Carol Linig and Ken Dilanian, New York Post, Caitlin McCormack, CNN, Jake Tapper, CBS News, Bilal Rahman, Axios, Zachary Basu, Russell Contreras, and The Bulwark, Adrian Carrasquillo. So, if you're one of these journalists, actually, now that I'm thinking about it and reading these names out loud, this is a bit of like just a veiled threat. And this is something Trump likes to do. We just saw this tactic used with MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and their falling out, started calling her Marjorie Trader Greene. And you saw the death threats ensue. I mean, she resigned just not too long ago. She was talking about how the cult has come after her in very bad and evil ways. And I think this is actually part of the Trump strategy, the Trump playbook of not just creating enemies, which is kind of like step one, which we talked about in a previous video of, what he's doing with Antifa and labeling all the other political opponents. But then step two is kind of like, hey, if I name you, now you're public enemy number one. So the White House put out this video, and then within a couple of hours, they took it down, which shows you even if their goal, which maybe was to leave this video up, was not achieved, the news is still talking about it. The press is still talking about it. And unfortunately for these journalists, now they're probably a little bit scared into a bit of silence.
Well, hopefully not. But I do think that if I were them, I would be using this as whatever, I'd be telling my lawyers about this. That's for sure. To be like, hey, here's evidence of something coming against me if and when that ever gets built or put together. But as you mentioned, this is not uncommon. Trump has, like, his hatred for the press has been known since even his 2016 runs. He's the one who's sort of coined the term, even though I know it's been around before him, of fake news and all that, and just dismissing the press. But when it comes to actual violence towards the press, that's also not new. I can't remember which rally it was at, but I remember shortly after the assassination attempt, where they had all the glass up and whatnot for him, he was talking about how he didn't like being behind the glass, and how if somebody were to shoot at him, they would have to shoot through the press and kill the press to get to him. And he's also called them the enemy within, which is another Hitler reference. So again, there's example after example after example, and every time his supporters always just say, "Oh, well, he's just joking," or "It's just a joke," blah blah blah. But even if that's true, why would you want this as a leader? Why is this a good trait? Because if Hillary Clinton did something like this, or if Joe Biden did something like this, or Obama, if anybody on the left made a hit list against, the media, or let's say billionaires or something, they listed the billionaires and said, "Here's your naughty list," people would be like, "Oh my goodness, he's trying to inspire more Luigi Mangionis out there," and blah, blah, blah. So of course this is going to put ideas in crazy people's minds. And at the very, very least, it's just shameful.
Yeah, and one network we did not see on that list was Fox News, and they've literally had lawsuits against them because of the amount of lies and just misinformation they put out there that they've lost. They've had to pay out millions and possibly even billions of dollars over the years. The famous defamation case with the Dominion lawsuit, that was the big one, but there's been just so many. Other networks like OAN and Newsmax, who just pump out garbage left, right, and center, they didn't make the list because they're not the enemies of Trump. They are the defenders and the upholders of everything that Trump does. And it's just so blatant that this list is just targeting the left leaning news organizations. It's pure politics, and it's kind of sick to see this administration using the White House for all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's supposed to be the people's house, the place where the president works and lives out of, and does his duty to lead our country, our taxpayer money that funds this. And look at what he's doing with their social media, with the website. They had this, the page on the White House website also dedicated to this thing, which they had to remove the video from as well. And we also see what he's been doing with the ballroom. All of this kind of just fits into the theme of he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the honor that it is to be an American president. He doesn't care about your tax dollars at work that are funding, the place where he lives and works. He doesn't care about that. He just cares about himself. He cares about loyalty, and he just wants adoration, loyalty, and support for his agenda, which is whoever has the highest amount of money that they can throw at Trump gets, he does their bidding. So it's sad to see all of this, but I'm kind of glad they took down the video, because at least it shows hey, someone on the White House team saw whoa, this is too much. They made the decision. But of course, kind of, the damage is done. These people got named. But hopefully there's some recourse here where maybe a lawsuit can happen or something like that. I'm not sure the legality, but if there is some kind of recourse that can happen to help protect these individuals, I'm all for that, and I hope it does happen.